that in map 1. They knew exactly how to make the impact with those. It's got to be that again, because with Wolves, it wasn't exactly far behind in terms of that Summit hardpoint performance. So here on APOT, where they're far more comfortable, they're going to recognize every bit of weakness in you and take advantage of it should it be there. OUG have been stellar through this tournament. All 5 of these players can hold their heads very high. I don't think, though, there would be a much sweeter moment for them than if they do manage to win this map and then the 5th take over in terms of Chinese teams here, because you said it yourself, they suffer so often at the hands of Wolves. Will that happen again? Will be this another W etched in the Wolves win column in this rivalry? Or do OUG have something more to say about it? For one more time, and potentially the final time, we will load into a map here on Stream B. Wolves will hope it will be the last dance, as that guarantees them Sunday. For OUG, it's got to be nothing short of perfection to go ever further.
It has to be, it has to be. They have to close it here. They will, of course, try to do so. What can OUG do? I'm not fully sure. They're capable of putting them in a bad spot, so let's see how great or bad they manage to follow that task. In here, the fight already unfolded, the doors are open, and the show has begun. Ladies and gentlemen, map number 4. This is Hardpoint on Apocalypse. This is Wolves versus OUG, and this is the loser bracket.
King's going to look over the top here, tap away with the Type 63. Zai finds 2 underneath with the XM4. Wind, just going to play close, protect his brother from up high. Do you see the body dive out of the chicken coop? No, because the smoke's going to be frustrating. So often something that Wolves play around. They love to use those smokes to clear off various angles. Bit of a thorn in their side there, but not for the rest of the boys, as King finds 2, Peg finds 1. Kingzer will start to squeeze forward. It's contested. We've got to look towards P2. Who's got temple control? It will be Wolves. And the fact that they have so much space here is a good thing for them when it comes to setting up the first wave of pressure. I was a little bit worried the solo would slip through, but no, caught by King, and as such you get an opportunity to defend.
A very, very good opportunity to defend in here. Right now, completely on his own when it comes down to enemies. Currently waiting a few trophies, a hunter-killer drone. Great setup now for the side of Wolves. Great initial hold, and although nades are flying by all over the place, there's no true entrance so far by the hands of OUG. Yes, they are trying to get a kill here and there, but once again, they are getting outslayed. They are getting outlawed, and in here, it is getting more and more difficult to know what's going on because, well, Wolves, look at that feed. It's completely filled with Wolves.
It is, and Wind will find 2 more with the Sparrow as well, so that's ever more. I feel this is about 10 unanswered kills. Wolves knocking on the door. OUG, are you aware that the map has started as you flood the front and fail again? And the Predator comes in to find 2. So this becomes ever more difficult for OUG. Underneath we go for P3. This has to be better from OUG, otherwise Wolves start to really disappear, and we're seeing just how comfortable they are on this map. It is at least 3 in reply, but another Predator miss out, and this is one of the things here. If you get off to a really great start, you build up the operators, you build up the utility, and very quickly start to turn that screw.
And I mean, they already have 4 available operators on the side of Wolves. There's 3 for OUG, but I'm not too sure how much they can do with it. Now, War Machine, 4 sounds will allow him to get a kill onto Cartels. There's the equalizers by Peg. Starts by eliminating Solo. The Death Machine now by Sai. They are not afraid to be using these utilities, and they are trying to take as much value as possible. Problem is, they actually sort of lost control over the hill. They immediately try to regain it, but it's just a flicker of the issues we saw on map number 1.
Kings does very well here with the Sparrow to kill 3. Do you see a 4th? Yes, you do, crossing straight in front of you. So you've managed to rip the point away from Wolves for a moment, but it's only for scrap time. That's the issue. It's almost the exact opposite of the situation we saw last time. The kills are there. It's not going to turn into much in the way of points. You do at least control the northern side of the map, which is best for the next hill. 5 seconds until that opens. Wolves need to look to make their move, and a couple of kills will let them get closer. The fact that Sounds has managed to find himself all the way up towards the spawn point for Temple is just going to be frustrating for OUG. They want a clean line to push forward with.
and they need one. They definitely need a clean line for that. They're solo using the death machine, finding 1, finding 2, finding 3, finding 4 kills to shred through the opponents, immediately looking for more, turns around, runs out of time, but now he's got a VMP, has also 100 killer drone available. There's the war machine being used by Tectonic. For the first time we see some good, solid, continuous control, but there's the Sparrow as soon as I say that. Triple kill for Wind. Sai to finish things up. Sai and Wind completely clean that area. That was at least like 10 to 12 seconds in favor of OUG. That's nice, yeah. But right now, they're still heavily losing.
It's moments like that, 5 or 6 clean kills for Wolves, just means all the hard work that OUG put together doesn't matter.
Out the door.
As the gap goes to 60 seconds, OUG playing in for scrap time. That's fine, as P1 is only a hop, skip, and jump away. Wind looks over the top, sounds king. It's a couple of kills, pinstripe feed, but it will be the southern side controlled by Wolves. They will have the better positions for P1. Nade's actually going to clear a body off, but the Pred over the top for Kings will at least hand out information. Doesn't find any kills though, so you've got to go again. Tempest is, sorry, the Sparrow is going to be good, but still, like, that gap exists and it feels like it's not coming down.
Yeah, this gap is just not getting any smaller for the side of OUG. That's gotta hurt. That's gotta sting. In here, Sounds with the war machine will find a 1, a 2, a 3, and looking for the 4th one just like that. Just launching it across the map and somehow still Hail Marying this on the opposite end of the map. That is a great kill, and that is a great usage of the operator. The side of OG, yes, they got a few extra seconds, but there's no clear control, there's no clear hold of these hills, and for that same reason, yes, they are technically in a fighting spot, but they're not quite there yet.
Zai just moments away as well from earning his operator. So 2 in the hands of Wolves. And as the pressure's put on this back spawn, I was about to wonder if you invest them, but it doesn't matter because Wind can just handle it all by himself. Kings is going to play close, but you've done enough here to get the reinforcements in, so Zai's there too. The front line has been broken through though. Tectonic does great work, and Zai will decide to invest the death machine. Push forward, squeeze. And OUG, they can't really push through cave. This will shred them to pieces anytime they dare step out. So Wolves with that approaching 70-80 point lead now means that OUG, it's got to be perfect from here. Your tournament is done.
Yes, it would. Right now, first there is gonna be Tectonic. Can you stay alive though? Let's see. Currently trying to be broken by King's Tempest and his squad. There's 1, there's no second. Great job done shutting that down, but not as effectively as they would have liked to. They're still going to be losing 6 seconds, but they're like, it's all right, it's okay. We're going to be moving to the next area, and we are going to try to defend ourselves as humanly best as possible. Let's see in here, Kings is trying to push forward, and with a headshot, takes the kill onto Kings. Sai turns around, tries to get inside, and gets surprised by Solo. Solo is executed too. 50 seconds left, and in here, yes, there's kills coming down from OUG, but this is just not enough. It is not what they're looking for. Wolves are playing their game. Wolves are nearly 100 points ahead of their opponents, and they are only thinking about increasing that advantage.
Certainly our cartels with the Tempest. How important that could be. 2 kills with it, 3 kills with it. And Tectonic takes advantage with a slay of his own. King will reply with a grenade. Solo loses a fight that he probably thought he'd won. Pinstripe. It will suit OUG for now. They have what's left of this time in their hands. It's when you begin to rotate over, and actually Wolves for a second there, trapped in their spawns. Is this the moment of momentum that OUG so desperately need? Well, Wind with 2 kills might disrupt that. Cartels would do well from the fences, but Sounds will be picked up in the back line. So while Wolves are keeping OUG off the point, they're not getting close to it themselves. Suits Wolves for now as they're in the lead, but they certainly want to control their own destiny, and as they squeeze forward, as the war machine rings out and catches anybody in the cave, it allows Wolves to surely hit that 200 point marker.
Incredible game sense there for Sounds continues to cause pain into the souls of OUG, ladies and gentlemen. This is just not looking pretty. They've had their moments on the side of OUG, but Wolves constantly shut them down. There's Tech trying to get through with the War Machine. He will be able to do so, and there's still 20 seconds left. That could be crucial to the outcome of this kill, trying now to be broken by both Sai and Peg, and that is going to happen yet again. That no longer is scrap time, is the time that Wolves need to close this one up.
OUG get a flip spawn here, and that might panic them into thinking there's players in behind. There actually will be. Spawns all over the place. No one's really going to figure this out. It's going to come down to just shooting each other. Dai's happy to answer that call. Kings and Tectonic will do so themselves as well. P1 then in OUG hands. The problem for them here is obviously this smack bang middle of the map is going to be bombasted with grenades, and it's going to be a situation of just trying to stay alive. Then lock it in for a P2 rotation, a money hill, and you desperately need one.
209, 149, 60 seconds deficit. Inside of the hill, there was King with the Tempest, no one else but King. This time around pushing, finding a double. There's Kings. The Kings from OUG, who is trying to make it happen with his own operator, not gonna have the same amount of success. Now there, on the outskirts of it, there's Sai, who continues to defend his weapon, but has the opportunity, the option to save it.
I actually think this isn't too bad for OUG. You can afford to give up a couple of these seconds here. Contest would be even better, but the spawns flip at the worst possible moment. I'm not sure if that's over-exuberance from OUG or whether Wolves did something that we didn't spell out, but you do just about clear it out. The problem for OUG is that that's not going to let you set up cleanly on the defense, because Peg's here to threaten. The fact that you get that kill, very important. Solo using the operator at the right time to give you a moment to breathe, a bit of a buffer, a blanket of protection. And the Death Machine will catch King as well. You do still have a Wolves player in your back line. It's going to be Wind, and he gets the spawns for his teammates. So OUG will have to turn and face and hold. Otherwise, Wolves can win it here.
These two angles are super difficult to defend, but so far they've managed to do so for around 30 seconds, doing a great job, finally closing that gap. Let's see for how long. They're stuck with the War Machine, gets a kill, now with a weapon, turns around. Hisal's gonna help him out. Great job done here. From up above, there's a Pred missile coming down from Kings, who connects at a distance. A nade by Wind is still not gonna be enough. The control is not gonna be broken. The defense is flawless. The PEM is gonna be used hopefully soon for Kings, who also has the opportunity to use that operator. And all of a sudden, OUG are back into the game.
OUG have figured their way into this. They will topple into the lead just as both teams get closer to 220. Off then to the next hill. P3 will open in a second. Sounds has an operator available to him. Zai decides that it's his calling and not for very long. Sounds goes with his as well, but OUG find the kills. Two with the Tempest, one with the grenade. They will break instantly. Wolves must come back. OUG can certainly do it here. They also have a Sparrow in play with Kings. And look at the bodies fall. Look at the line that OUG are punching into this, trying to send themselves to map 5.
Incredible now. Only 10 seconds away. They have complete control. Inside of the hill, there's going to be Tectonic trying to survive. There's a lot of nades being thrown. They're clutching in at the same time. They do get the kill. They do get the control, but they are not inside of the hill on the side of Wolves. They are finally jumping in. No. Finally they do it. They are finally beginning to regain some sort of control. A triple kill now for Kings, who completely cleans the area, but still don't give the control. For OUG, they need 6 more seconds. They finally get it. There's 2 players in. They're trying to defend, managing to survive. And ladies and gentlemen, they're gonna take it again. Ladies and gentlemen, OUG has done it once more. Does not matter how far behind they've gotten on hardpoint against Wolves, they do it again.
An incredible contest between these two teams could be settled by none less than an incredible hill there on the APOC. It is incredible to think that for OUG, you thought you'd lock that hill down. Wolves come swinging back in with several operators, and off the back of a 3-piece from Kings and just some very well placed grenades, you do enough to bully them back out, see off the scrap time. I was a little bit concerned that it had gotten away from you and be heading back over to P4, but we got an insane map finish last time. Kings 54 and 36. did not stop for a moment. Every bit MVP for his team with 1:37 also inside the hill. But the boys were there to support as well. That column on the right-hand side was very, very pretty. APOC Hardpoint was supposed to be Wolves' home ground. This was their backyard. And you've walked straight in and snatched it away from them.
Snatched it away in a very, very incredible way. We're being spoiled. At this point, Enigma, we're just being spoiled. It's insane that we're getting yet another Map 5, who coincidentally is once again for Wolves. I would begin to get nervous with all of this.
Well, 100%. I think before we talk about that Map 5, a reminder that, looking at the highlights here, you were down like 80 points at one point, and all it needed from OUG was 2 or 3 quick, clean hills. We were in that P1 at one point, and I said, if you can get a couple of seconds here and then set yourself up for a decent temple hill, that would be impressive. That would help you back into the game.
And it wasn't even perfect.
Well, they do better than that, because you actually end up with Wolves getting the spawn, and you said it yourself, they're going to have to focus on 2 fronts here, and yet they control that situation. It would have been so easy with the pressure that Wolves apply to panic yourself away and end up trailing enough that Wolves just walk in and take the map. But all the momentum that they built meant that they were an unstoppable force heading into those final moments. Beautiful work from OUG, a team that continue to entertain us here in Katowice. 2-2 then, and we will go to that standoff S&D. Now, the last S&D, Coastal, I'd say it was relatively comfortable for Wolves, and S&D has been a problem for OUG. Definitely. In the evidence that we've had so far through this tournament. But you got yourself into a game 5. Wolves will be shell-shocked, stunned at the way in which they are in this matchup, and the fact that they lost to Elevate before this. So while there are pros and cons for both teams here, do you have a way in which you think this map's going to go?
That was actually the question that I wanted to ask you, so I wouldn't have to answer it. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to think no more. These two teams have been so unpredictable. There was a lot of people out there who were like, you know, OG did not have enough time to practice. They were not ready. They were this, they were that. But look at them go. Look at them just rebuild composure on those 2 games of Hardpoint. For this Search and Destroy on stand-up, I have absolutely no idea what to expect.
We ushered a phrase yesterday. It was that form is temporary, class is permanent. And OUG is certainly showing that here. Hardpoint, they are clearly a class above when it comes to playing against Wolves. How much momentum that gives them into the S&D, that's got to be early rounds, in my opinion. You've got to start to take those early rounds. Otherwise, all the wind in your sails is cut down immediately, especially with the doubts that will creep into your mind considering how you lost map 2. At the start of today, though, when we came into this series, you said if we get to a game 5, OUG will take it. So let's see if you are correct. If so, I want the lottery numbers next, because that would be one hell of a call to give us for this series. The faces across at Wolves, I mean, you never really see them get too emotional. We saw a little bit at the end of Elevate. They're always very calm, composed, focused on the task ahead. For OUG, that is what you want to see if you are a fan. It is relaxed. It is confident. It is the 5 players that we've seen in the hotel this weekend, fully ready to go to take this and march on in this tournament.
Yeah, locked into the game, but not so much that they lose composure of their emotions. Really smart on both sides. I would arguably say that even on Wolves' side, it's almost I'm a little bit afraid, you know, like if you see them win, you see them lose, and they're just chilling. They're just sitting there. It is almost wild to see that situation, but they're just like that, you know. They are that type of players. It is gonna be Search and Destroy on standoff. It is definitely going to be a battle. I would love to say a battle of snipers, but we've seen in the past that, for example, with Elevate, they do have openings for a shotgun gunplay.
I absolutely love that you talk about that, and I want to come back to it. The first thing that I want to do, though, is kind of put the context of this next map, one single map, into the overall picture. So let's take a look at the bracket, because everybody's waiting on us here. We're done inside of Katowice apart from this. Elevate and Q9, we know that that's the winners finals up towards the top. Winner there will punch their ticket to grand finals, guarantee themselves top 2. Loser falls down to the lower finals that you'll see there in the bottom right. Stalwart Esports beat out Goalers 3-0, and they are waiting to find out who they're playing next, Wolves or OUG.